Hello guys, welcome back. My name is Amy and hello if you're new. Today I'm going to share some plant updates. So I'm going to use some old footage from my first houseplant tour to show you the kind of serious upgrades that have been happening this summer. So a lot of my plants that I've had for a long while have grown a lot and I'm very happy about that. So I thought I'd share some of that with you. So the first up is my Caladium Red Flash. Now some of you might know that I got this in a plant circle order a good few months ago during the lockdown quarantine madness that was earlier this year. So for this plant, I watched some caladium care tip videos because this is the first caladium I've ever had and I've never grown something from a bulb indoors before. And everyone kind of said to water it once and, wait for it to start showing signs of growth before watering again. And I did that and it didn't do anything for months. So I decided to up the watering and make sure the soil was never too dry for too long. And that seemed to work because now in the last couple of weeks, it's just thrown out growth like crazy. So this is the biggest leaf, which hasn't fully unfurled yet. But this is what it looks like. That's the most substantial leaf. This was the first leaf that I had, which is kind of an odd shape for a red flash, which generally have longer lobes, I think. So yeah, but we have quite a few small leaves coming in, but there's a good amount of them. We also have more coming in here. One here, another new leaf here. But also, look at this. I thought that that's quite interesting. So that's her. That's an update on her. An update on my Ficus elastica Taniki. This is not a substantial update by any means, but basically this plant I've had for a good few months now. I got it earlier this year and it didn't do anything. So I chopped the top off. And here it is propagating. I just thought maybe it needs a kind of a boost. So I chopped this off, which is due to be potted really. The roots are doing quite well, and that didn't take very long. And now it's having this absolutely tiny little growth point. Like it almost looks like a tiny little leaf, but anyways. And that's the update on that. But this has been very slow growing to me. Now I did have to repot it when I got it, so I think that that's why it's been growing so slow, because it's been in shock. I know that ficus don't really enjoy being moved around and kind of repotted like that, so I can understand it, it's okay. But the chopping did seem to promote new growth, which I'm happy about. And even if it is a small leaf, it doesn't matter because it's progress, okay? Update on my Adansonii. I chopped this a good while ago because it was just annoying me the way it was growing. It lost a couple of leaves along one big stalk, so I chopped the shit out of it and propagated it and made a second one. I used to love this plant so much, but honestly I can't say that I'm super mad about it anymore. It does kind of annoy me sometimes, the way every now and again it will just drop leaves for seemingly no reason at all. The slightest change in missed waterings will just yellow it. And that kind of pisses me off. Also, I'm pretty sure it has mosaic virus, which is fantastic. And I really honestly can't find a lot of information about this online, which is so frustrating. Look at this, and I know that that's not good and I should be separating it from other plants, but honestly, I haven't seen it spread or anything like that to other aroid type species. Oh, look at that leaf is going through the hole of another leaf. But yeah, that kind of just annoys me. I wish it didn't have mosaic virus, but it seems that most of the Monstera Adansonii sold in Europe do have it. But nonetheless, it's very easy to grow, I feel. Apart from the yellowing leaves every now and again, it does grow pretty fast if you give it decent light, and it is pretty cool. Look, this is probably a yellow leaf or a mosaic leaf, I don't know. But anyways, that's an update on her. The next update I want to give you is my Miranta Lucanora. So this, when I first got this plant, we were figuring each other out and I didn't really know how to care for it very well. You can see that in my first houseplant tour. Maybe I'll compare the footage, but it wasn't doing very well. It had lost a lot of its leaves. I knew I wasn't giving it enough light as well. But now it's thrown out new leaves like crazy, which is so cool. But it's also been flowering loads. So I've actually started, this was a weird leaf that came in new back when it was having a tough time. But yeah, so it's doing pretty well now and it's throwing out new leaves pretty often. But yeah, it was flowering. Here's a new leaf. It was flowering a lot, so although I enjoyed some of them for a while, I've been cutting them off to try and promote new leaf growth, but that is a big growth update that I'm really happy about. I do kind of want to buy a second one of these to kind of put 2 in the one pot and fill it out a bit, because it is kind of stalky in here. I know it's turned down right now because it's the middle of the day, but yeah. Possibly one of the biggest plant updates that I just am so happy about is my Rabidophora Tetrasperma. Now, I got this it's actually over a year ago now, and it had a couple of leaves, it wasn't doing well, then it got spider mites, and then it got dropped off a shelf twice. Really great start to my home, but I salvaged what I could and it has grown like crazy ever since, which is just fantastic, and I love this plant so much. It's so easy to grow, it looks fantastic, it's just beautiful. I love it so much. So it kind of has 3 main stalks, if you can see, each of which are being held up at the moment by a kind of a bamboo stick. But yeah, she looks fantastic. She's so happy. She is turning towards the light. But I'm really happy about this, and it's a great little reward. The first few leaves that I got had no fenestrations, and I was kind of like, oh, what's going on? Like this one, it's still here. But then she did not disappoint. Another update, which I'm just gonna move here because it's easier to see, is my Marble Queen Pothos. So in my first houseplant tour, I was also kind of saying that we weren't really getting on and she was dropping leaves fairly fast. Turned out she did not have as much light as she wanted, because these were the old leaves. They kept browning, falling off like that. And then these are the new leaves. So it was just more light. She just needed way more light than she was getting. And I guess I was kind of like, oh, it's a pothos, it's fine, but obviously she's so variegated, she really does need a lot more light than I thought. But I'm really happy with these new leaves. She looks fantastic. That's a brand new leaf that's still floppy. And then this one, although this one came out white like this one, but then it kind of turned a bit yellow over time. I'm not really sure what that's about, but I'm not mad at it. Hopefully soon she'll start to hang, because I really want a hanging one. And I'm sure, again, same thing as the Miranta, if I come across another one, I will probably get it just to fill out the pot, because that would be nice. You have some little baby ones going on down there. This Peperomia Napoli Lights, or Napoli Nights, I'm not sure which one it is. I propagated last year, I believe, over winter, but I will compare the footage with that in my first houseplant tour to show you, but this has really filled out. It's so pretty. I love this. It's definitely my favorite Peperomia. It has since flowered, but it's over now, and I'm pretty sure it's root bound. It's been watered, so you can't really see the roots, but it does need to be repotted sometime soon, but I'm thinking maybe I'll wait till next spring. I'm not sure. Maybe I can fit it in before winter. I cut this all the time, but I did think I would show my gorgeous string of hearts, because she's getting thick. Because I keep propagating her, because she keeps growing really long and hitting the bed and then getting caught in the covers. Isn't that right, Lua? And it gets caught in Lua's face a lot, because he loves lying here at the end of the bed and watching me do my stuff. So we have recently cut her again, but that is basically her. She is just so beautiful, and she sits here and she looks out the window and she has a great time. So I just thought I would show you that, because she is one of my pride and joys. I do propagate her and I just put it back in the top to make her as thick as possible, because I want her to be like a string of hearts little curtain. This may be a little sad growth update, but it's not really, because she's still alive. Philodendron species affinity sagitifolium, I think, we don't really know what she is, but that's the closest that we can get her to. But this is the cutting I took from somebody's plant in my family's Airbnb in Italy when I got married, and I basically cut it, propagated it. It didn't do anything for about 5 months and then it started shooting out loads of roots, so I'm really happy about that. This leaf has been slightly yellow for quite some time. It could be to do with lack of fertilization when it was in the water. Maybe I didn't change the water often enough, or maybe it just wasn't getting the nutrients it needed. It hasn't gotten more yellow than this, so I'm kind of hopeful with that it will just stay there for a while. Then this leaf is the nicest leaf, I think. And then we have this kind of leaf that was damaged when I got it. And this was already cut off when I got it as well. So it's since been potted. The roots were going crazy, so I put it in a pot now. And it's grown this leaf, which is a bit sad, honestly. Very weird. I don't really know. It came out mostly white. It's turning a bit more green, but I don't know why that is. Is that like, I don't think that it's to do with like, you know, a Florida ghost type situation where they come out white and they turn more green, because this leaf is so small and wrinkly. It doesn't look like a healthy leaf to me. It looks like a leaf that has been very damn stressed, but that's okay. She tried putting out a leaf. Let's see what the next one looks like. Hopefully it will be better. This is getting quite fat back here and there's something going to come out. So we will see what she is, but yeah, so that's basically it. I'm just seeing what she does. I'm honestly really just happy that she's alive, because I don't know what I'll do if I lose her, because number one, I'll be really upset because it reminds me of my wedding day. Number two, I can't ever get it again, so that's annoying as well. But yeah, so that's kind of the update on her. Not a fabulous update, but those are my most notable plant growth updates over the summer, honestly. I didn't show a lot of my newest plants because you've seen them in hauls and stuff and unboxings, so there's no need to really. But they are kind of the biggest shootout in growth that I've had, and it's all very exciting and lovely and part of the joys of keeping indoor plants and keeping them alive and keeping them thriving. A lot of them are, you know, my plants aren't perfect and nobody's are. It's just unrealistic to me. I don't want to go out of my way to be trying to create these kind of perfect plants, because nature is not perfect. Shit happens, shit gets weird, you know, sometimes you don't have all of the resources you need to be your best self, and that's what happens when other things are going on. But I'm happy with my plants. I haven't honestly lost a lot of plants this summer, and I'm so happy about that, because I did have a fairly shit winter last year and I lost a lot of my favorite plants. But yeah, I'm happy with those. So I hope that you enjoyed this little plant update video. Let me know if you want me to do more of these in the future. I can just make short little videos showing you what's going on with some of my plants. If you have specific plants that you want updates for, let me know. If you like this video, please give it a like down below. Lua, I'm speaking. If you like this video, please give it a like down below. It super helps me out and I'd really appreciate it. Subscribe if you like these videos and want to see more of my type of content. And I will see you again in the next one. Bye. And Lua says bye as well.